Legion Tactical Cutlery.
Hold the line!
Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Gruggs here, Legion Tactical Cutlery. Welcome back, troops, legionnaires, new recruits. As always, really appreciate you guys taking the time to check out my channel and my videos. All right, man, we got something really cool today. This is the Remette RT-Allosaurus in D2 steel. I'm digging this blade, been taking it on hikes. It's a nice EDC. Weapons inspection, troops, what are you carrying today? Well, once again, I've got my Sativian ST-128. It's an awesome blade. What do you all have? Veterans, active military, this is a nice little handy carry for you. I just want to say thank you very much for your service. We really appreciate you all. Enjoy the video. Quick specs, let's get it done. Once again, this is the Remette RT-Allosaurus with an overall length of 8.11 inch, blade length 3.70 inch, blade material D2, blade hardness is 59 to 61 HRC, blade thickness is 0.16 inch, blade grind is a mid-saber clip point, blade finish is a black stonewash, handle length is 4.41 inch, handle material is a textured G10, handle finish is obviously black. Weight of this knife is 5.5 ounces. It does feature a full tang lanyard hole, Kydex sheath, and a tech lock. Close-up time. All right, man, check out that blade shape. I like it. You know, at first I thought, it's a kind of a weird design, but it's working for me, and it grew on me big time. But awesome mid-saber grind, nice belly, clip point. I love the swedge. It does have a small sharpening choil and a small guard, as you could see. Okay, some light jimping and a small ramp right over here. There's that swedge. Okay, it's a decent thickness. However, I am concerned with that tip. It's a little thin. So, listen, free or not, I like my knives. I'm going to do a little bit of testing with this tip, but I definitely don't want to damage it. The handle is a nicely textured G10, ergonomically set up. You know, it does have a nice little curve to it, and it feels good. It looks funny, but it feels good, and it feels very natural in this grip right here. However, if I am to grip it in any other way, feels pretty good. No hot spots that I could feel. Let's do a reverse grip on this. Reverse grip is nice, so definitely can be a hunting knife. Beside an EDC, it's just a good looking blade, as you could see, full tang goodness. The tang protrudes slightly out of the G10 handles, but it's consistent throughout the whole knife. It does have a protruding tang and a lanyard hole. Nice blade, man. This is a nice little blade. I've been taking it hiking, and it's been working out real well. Let's take a look at the sheath. All right, here we go. We got a taco sheath with a small little ramp over here by the hole. Okay, it's got some rivets. Again, I wish it had some slots or slats. You know, it did come with a ferro rod, as you can see here, with a very generous handle. Okay, pop this in, and then I put this lanyard here to make sure that it doesn't slip out for any reason. It does come with a tech lock. You can carry this in upright or scout configuration. I did carry this when I went for my hike in a upright configuration, and very light knife. You barely feel it on your hip. Let's pop that in. Retention is good. It's pretty quiet. It's a nice little setup if you want to take a hike in the woods or do some camping. Let's get to testing, man. I'm pretty excited about this one. Man, it's been raining all day. It just broke the weather, you know. The sun is just about peeking out, and it's starting to get hot and humid. I want to get this done, man. So, use this piece for another test the other day, except, you know, why not use it again? It's a pretty decent sized piece, in my opinion, for this knife. I think it'll do just fine. I'm going to use the lanyard. And we're going to do, you know, the same mission parameters as always, little chopping, batoning, and then we always take it from there. All right, let's do it by this knot, man. I'm excited. It's biting in already. Now this is a small knife, so it's probably going to take some time. But again, I want to test myself the edge retention. It did come extremely sharp out of the box, so we're going to see how long that usually lasts. All right, destroying that knot right off the bat. And as always, these type of small knives, you always have to choke up towards the rear of the handle over here. And, you're going to need some form of a lanyard to help with this out. But I'm going to try testing out the whole blade to make sure that I get every part of the secondary bevel hit, so we could do, edge retention test. Oh yeah, the sun's starting to come out, and it's starting to heat things up, boy, let me tell you. And with everything wet, it's going to get real humid real fast. All right, so far the knife destroyed that knot. We have a little more to go, so now look, those new to my channel, understand, I'm testing out knives. Remette sent me to test this out for them, and that's what I'm doing. This is how I know how to test out knives in the outdoors. So I do a little chopping, a little bit of batoning. Don't think I'm crazy. I do own a saw and an axe, and I do have them, and I take them with me everywhere I go. However, this is a channel that tests out knives, and this is one of the ways I know how to test out these knives, man. You can see it's biting right in. I'm sure once we get past this knot, it'll be better. Okay, knot's destroyed. Let's try another area. See how deep that's going in with the bite. Troops, I'm taking my time. It's hot out here. It's getting real hot. It's getting real humid. Got to watch my health. I'm just going to take my time. Go get yourself a drink, some popcorn, and enjoy the noise, the chopping noise. It's not much of a chopper. Okay, that's for sure. I'm sure you could delimb, some small branches, etc. if you need to make a spear or some kind of a fishing spear of some sort, you know what I mean? But again, this is a channel that tests out knives, and one of the ways I want to test out the edge retention and to see if the edge is good, doesn't chip or bend, is by doing one of these chop tests on this hard wood. All right, real quick, let's look at that edge. To me, that's looking fine. Straight, no chips, no bends. Still feels sharp. Let's keep going. Using the front part of the blade right now. Just making sure that tip's okay. It's a slow go, but it's doing it, okay? I mean, that's pretty significant right there, man. And still pretty sharp so far, which is what I like. You can see that nice little slice right there. Even though it's bark, it's doing the job. So let's keep going, man. Okay, we are almost through. Using every part of the blade that I can. You can see it's biting in for sure, man. Good stuff, man. Good stuff, even for such a small EDC blade. So, you know, utility. Use it for utility if you're not going to use it in the woods. I mean, if it could do this, I'm sure it could do plenty of utility out there, you know? The lanyard seems fine. They did the lanyard hole right. It's nice and rounded off on the inside too, not sharp, and I don't feel like it's going to come off or break, so that's good news. I always appreciate, you know, the lanyard hole. It's been very important for doing these tests. We're almost through, man. She's loose, she's loose. All right, there we go, man. Awesome, awesome. Let's do a little batoning, right? It's a pretty decent size. Let's see how this tip holds up. Okay, hitting that tip area. good. I'm gonna get rid of this bark. So if you have some kind of a stove, outdoor stove, you're hiking. Now I understand there's wood on the ground, but you know, again, if you want to just use your knife and test it out while you're out hiking and you want to do a little batoning, I'm giving you an idea of how this knife is functioning. Okay, perfect for your stove. Let's keep going. I'm going to do the rear of the blade now a bit. Excellent. All right. Now, just real quick, let's do a little edge retention. Look at that. Look how nice and thin that is. Beautiful. So after all that chopping, a little bit of batoning. I know it's not a lot, but so far so good, man. The edge is looking good. Let's do a little horizontal batoning. See if I can make some thirds with this. I think this would definitely be a good hunting knife. You can get in there, you know, with the tip to cut the tendons or ligaments or some cartilage of the bone. So pretty nice, I think, the tip. I really do wish it was just a little bit thicker. So far, this little blade, though, I'm glad this bark came off. This little blade so far is doing the job. Nice. One more time. Well, that just split the wood real nice. Excellent. Sorry about that interruption, folks. As always, I always have to answer those phone calls, man. Let's keep going here. I wasn't really finished. Doing the job for sure. Nice. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. So let's move on from this, man. All right, feather sticks and individual curls, right? I'm going to try and make them as thin as possible for you. Everything is wet today, man. It's just, it's a rough day today. The good news is that I'm still out here, you know, doing this testing. And I really wanted to test this one for sure, man, because I like this knife. It feels good. So definitely can do a little carving with this, you know. I think I got my point across with this. So very fine curls, you make a bunch, you spark it up, right? That's one way of doing it. Now for those more advanced, You want to get your skill of making feather sticks right. Not bad. Sorry about the background noise, troops. This is a park and there's people here that do come, and you know, it's unavoidable. Okay, not bad, not bad. Now let me try this a little bit different way. All right, not bad, man, not bad at all. I'm telling you, it's a decent knife. I mean, you really can't appreciate it until, you know, you buy one and you use it, but so far so good, man. I have to do it. I have to test out the tip, so I'm just going to see if I could split this wood using the tip over here. I think it's reasonable. It's a reasonable test to do with your knife. And, you know, if you're a hunter, in my opinion, you're getting in there in some of that tough area. You know, you definitely want this this tip, you know, to function properly. So let's see. I'm hoping that, you know, by doing this into the wood, that it should be enough, right? Because this piece of wood's pretty hard. So far, so good. Let's do another one right over here. I'm going to do it this way, okay? Against the grain. Let's keep going. Let me just get safe over here with this lanyard. Huh, the tip is intact. That's awesome. That's really good, man. So, you know, for you hunters out there, this is good news, man. Even, oh, let me get my baton. Even for, oh, there we go. That's really good news. I know it's still early in the testing phase, but for me, that's great news, you know? Let's split this piece over here. So at least I did it against the grain, right? Yeah, man, so far so good. And again, I think, in my opinion, it's a fair test. You know, you don't want a baton, but you want to make some pieces of wood. It did the job, man. It did the job. I'm pretty satisfied about that. So, yeah, man, I'm good with that. Let's move on. Try a little cross batoning, okay? Now, I'm not going to try and, you know, bash my way all the way through. I want to try and make it as flat as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this knife and try and go all the way around until I get through. I mean, this would be a perfect example for making notches too, you know? So you can see it's going deep, pretty thick. That edge is looking good. You know, it's got a nice thick V shape, you know? I don't know if you could see that or not. but it's got a nice V shape to it, so I like that. Kind of off course a little bit. It's going to be difficult, but let me just keep on going. There we go. All right, cool. No damage to the blade. Let me just pick those up and show everybody, okay? 1 second. All right, man, check that out. No blade damage whatsoever. I mean, as flat as possible can be. I mean, that's from a saw. Actually, this is from a saw. I just cut that. And that's from doing that horizontal batoning with this knife. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, still good. Still good. So if you're just going to carry this for an EDC, you know it's a tough little blade, man. So far, so good. I am extremely happy with the performance of this blade so far. All right, so the Remette does come with a nice Kydex sheath and this ferro rod. So that means I got to test out the spine, right? So I'm going to test out the ferro rod last, but I just want to show everybody, or even, you know, see for myself how this spine works out. So we're going to test out the bark first. Now, the spine doesn't really feel that sharp. It does feel rounded off, and I'm trying to take the nail material off. Usually, I know if the spine is going to be okay if the nail material comes off. However, it is a little bit rounded off, and as you can see, it's not very aggressive in digging into the bark. But, you know, once again, to start up a little fire, you know, whatever your ritual is, as a bushcrafter, as a fire starter, it's possible that the bark is all you need. You know, maybe this isn't more than enough to, you know, spark up and start a little fire. I don't know, just a guess. Okay, so the bark is coming off. That's okay. Now, the wood. We're going to see how it is with the very flat area. Now, I did remove all the bark, so, you know, it's flat. I want to see how this spine works out. I don't know why the birds are going nuts. They must be communicating something. Let's see if this does anything. Very little. Very little. Again, it might be enough. Actually, no, I'm not even in the jimping area because the jimping area is all the way in the back over here. You know, I have to put in some effort to get this. It's starting to rain again. All right, well, I'm going to keep on going. I'm already committed, so. Very little. It's going to take some work. Now, let's see. This is this is being very flat. Let's see a piece of wood that's 90 degrees. You know, maybe that's when you baton or use your tip to break, you know, the piece of wood in half so you get some kind of an angle. All right, good. Okay. Not bad. Seems to be working out. Again, it's definitely going to take some effort. A file will take care of this. If you have one of those work sharp field guides, you just rub it on the work sharp field guide. That's what I did to one of my knives. And you will definitely get a sharper spine. As you can see though, you know, on the angle, it did work. On the flat surface, more flat surface, it's very little. It's still manageable, it's still doable. You just have to put some effort into it. Now, fat wood. good news. You know, you guys just gotta, if you do have a piece of fat wood, or if you harvest some fat wood out in the woods, you know, maybe you just gotta baton it, or, you know, cut a piece that has a 90-degree or some kind of an angle, sharp angle, that you could do this to. And as always, you could always make the little, you know, little fine curls, etc. All right, now let's see what I can do with this ferro rod. It did come with a, you know, little ferro rod scraper. It wasn't very sharp, and obviously the whole point is to, you know, to test out the spine of the knife. Seems to be doing it, not efficiently. Whoops, sorry about that. No, not by the spine. Not too good, man. I mean, initial impressions, you know what, let me try the very tip over here. Okay, so it looks like the very tip is where you might have to rethink, you know, starting up the fire. Now everything is wet over here, so I really didn't scrape any fat wood, but it looks like the tip area seems to be doing the job. So let me just show you one more time. All right, so it's definitely sparking again with effort. You know, I might just, it's a shame because I really don't want to ruin the black coating, but I might sharpen this up with my field guide. It's still doing it though, you know. Your sharpening choil would be probably better choice, okay? Without damaging the edge of the knife. I didn't even think about that. So at least you know now that you could use your sharpening choil. All right, cool, man. Hey, look, what more could you ask for? Now, let's do a little camp tasks right here. Got some paracord. Okay, it cuts. Let's do the push cuts. All right. So if you have some food, you know, you could use it for camp, small little camp tasks. Maybe you had some dried meats, dried sausage. You know that the knife is going to do the job. I have a thicker piece of rope, natural rope over here. You know, if you want to make this part of your fire starting, did a nice job with the push cuts. You know, that curved back, the way the ergonomics feel of this knife, it just feels very natural to do this. So fantastic. One more time. That knife is sharp. All right, man. I don't know. It passes my test. I like this knife. I like it a lot. You know, sharper spine would have been good. Remette, if you're seeing this, sharpen that spine up, man. It would. This knife will be, you know, real fantastic. And maybe one other suggestion: thicken up that point. You know, although it did do a good job, it didn't break. I don't expect to do this all the time, but my main concern is for the hunters out there. If you're going to get into that, you know, the bone or cartilage near bone, or ligaments or tendons near bone, you know, it's possible you might have an issue. I'm not sure. Okay, but as you saw, I did do, you know, tip test against the grain here, and it was a bit of a challenge, and it didn't break. It didn't come off the tip. So to me, that's good news. All right, troops, let's conclude. Troops, just a small demonstration, in my opinion, a pretty awesome demonstration of the capabilities of this little EDC blade. Take it outdoors, take it hiking, use it as a utility blade. No matter, you know, if you're military, first responder, law enforcement, I think it's pretty good, man. Couple improvements, you know, like I said, the spine, they should sharpen up the spine a bit more. If not, you could do it yourself. And I think they really do need to thicken up that tip so that there is like absolutely no doubt that tip will last no matter what. But as you saw, I kind of did abuse it a bit, and it worked out just fine. All right, troops, legionnaires, new recruits, as always, thank you very much. Really appreciate you guys checking out my channel. I hope you enjoyed this little demonstration. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. If you enjoyed it, like, share, subscribe. As always, really appreciate it, man. Let me bring awareness, everybody. Hashtag 22 a day. Hashtag 22 a day no more. There are veterans and active military. Once they get out of the service, they do face a lot of challenges. Unfortunately, one of these challenges is suicide. So at the end of this video, pause on the slides. Call those phone numbers. Surf those websites. Go talk to somebody. There are people available for you. Please seek the help you all have earned and deserved. Legionnaires, thanks again. At the ready, hold the line. Take care. Legionnaires!